Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As one might have imagined, the last 24 hours were also quite ridiculous, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. It says, much to the surprise of investors around the world, XRP has been one of the best performing cryptocurrencies over the past day, with bulls taking full control of its price action following a break above its trading range of 20 cents and then 30 cents. It is now going parabolic, with bulls erasing its recent underperformance trend as they aim to send it up towards 50 cents in the near term. XRP appears to be finding some resistance around its current price region, which may slow its ascent and cause it to see some consolidation in the near term. First of all, it's like doubled, tripled, doubled something in price over the past day and a half. Like, it's fine if it goes back down a little tiny bit or isn't still pumping up in price. Remember how I always said, and have been saying this entire year, it's a little weird, the stuff that's going on, and we're mimicking 2017. Once again, this is a mimic of 2017. What ended up happening was, for those of you who didn't know, is XRP was worth a cent, and then it was worth about 10 cents, and everyone expected it to fall back down, and then it rose up to $1, and then $3 something or other cents as well. But it happened over the course of a very short span period of time. It didn't happen over the course of the entire year. XRP's price in 2017 barely moved until around November. Can you guess which month we're in right now? Right. So I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's just witchcraft at this point, but the cycle is a bit too on the nose. And actually, this completely overtakes any news that we had about Bitcoin's price. As this XRP price might hit $2 if it clears 49 cents. This one says XRP surges 30% higher, and analysts think there's more upside to come. Ripple price analysis, upsurge is far from over, 50 cents next, question mark. This one says XRP weekly chart suggests massive breakout to 75 cents. The year has been the exact same year as 3 years ago. I think if we continue with everything as it's been for the last 11 months, I'm going to assume XRP is probably going to dip a tiny bit. People are going to count it out. It's going to start surging up to $1. And if that mimics and coincides at the exact same time when Ethereum is expected to start rising in price, and also Bitcoin keeps rising in price because Bitcoin falls down and then rises right back up to where it was before. For those of you who don't know or may not be in the knowing, I think Bitcoin fell a bit. I had a couple of people panic, people who are relatively new to the market. And I was like, stop it. Like, give it like a day. It's going to be back up. It's exactly where we were before. I think it's like 18,600 or something like that right now. A lot of people think, as well they should, that this week we are going to try to pass by 19,000 and stay above 19,000 because we already hit 19,000. And then the next step after that is 20,000. And a lot of the analysts, when you look at their actual price charts, what they're saying is that they think we're going to hit 20,000 and kind of skyrocket past it to get to 22,000. And that's when they assume there may be like a bit of, not a heavy pullback, but we may see like a couple hundred, maybe like $1,000 pullback. We may rest for a little bit and then continue our ascent into December. What is this one? Parabolic rally, a possibility, a real possibility after Ethereum surges to 547 US dollars. There's a lot of very good Ethereum news floating around right now. Ethereum's price continues to rise. I don't remember if I saw this somewhere. I know I didn't dream it, but I know that the amount of Ether inside of the contract to start the Genesis chain for Ethereum 2.0 has increased rapidly over the weekend. So as more Ether has been pushed into the contract, the price of Ethereum has risen even higher. As the price of Ethereum has risen even higher, people are wondering if we're going to go to $700. I think at this point, me personally, I think $1,000 is a given. I think we can all safely say if it hit $1,200 before in 2017, off of no Ethereum 2.0 and simple ICO hype, as we have now DeFi hype and actual usage of the chain and getting to the actual transition to a brand new system upgrade, whatever you kind of want to call it. I think $1,000 is probably where we're aiming for. And I think if we get to that point where Plan B and Plan C and all these other people were talking about where we're going to go next year, we are probably, more than likely, going to see a $4,000 Ethereum. It's just completely logical at this point. This one says, Ether surges past 540. Crypto venture capitalist expects it to go much higher, of course. This one says, oh, bit too far. Doesn't really matter. We're still going to get there. So the point is, XRP is surging. Ethereum is surging. Bitcoin dipped and flew back up to where we were before. I think it's currently up by 2% over the course of the last 24 hours, but we're still exactly where we were before, which is great. It's not a bad thing. It's not anything negative. We are still outperforming any other asset class in the entire world right now, especially with everything that's been going on. Yeah, prices are doing good. Market's looking great. I expect things to continue to go higher because, logic. And without further ado, let's move on. So, thank you, Internet, for this information because, I like stuff like this. And now we know it's true. It says Bitcoin's supply shortage is due to the overwhelming support coming from PayPal. The news comes from an investment firm's chief. Now get ready because it's going to get a little bit insane. And I need everyone to really pay attention to exactly what's taking place so that you understand my numbers. Pantera Capital CEO Dan Morehead believes that PayPal is to blame for Bitcoin supply crunch. PayPal allowed users to buy Bitcoin, and this leads to there being a lack of Bitcoin in the market. In a blog post, Mr. Morehead said that that PayPal's customers are buying up 70% of what was available in Bitcoin. He explained how, before PayPal integrated with Paxos, the company exchange ItBit had a manageable trading volume. As soon as PayPal announced that it allows its users to buy Bitcoin, the demand went off the chart. And there's the chart right there. The news that's been happening over the last 24, dare I even say the last 30 hours, is apparently PayPal and Square alone. Square is the company that I think Jack Dorsey's the head of it, who's also the CEO of Twitter. He announced before that he himself is buying over a Bitcoin per day through the app. He makes sure to maximize, he does the full trading limit of what he can buy in Bitcoin every single day. PayPal and Square alone, two companies out of the at least 20 companies that we know of that are in the cryptocurrency space who are also actively buying Bitcoin, are buying up all the Bitcoin. I believe the number is 990 Bitcoin are mined per day. I believe that's the exact number that ends up coming out of the system. And between PayPal buying and selling those to people who are buying them, and also Square also buying that much Bitcoin and selling them off as well to people who are using the app, all the Bitcoin that's mined per day is gone. So what happens to all the other Bitcoin? It's all the other stuff that's actually on the market on cryptocurrency exchanges. And can you guess who's buying those coins? Every other institution who told us before that they're also buying tons of Bitcoin. I don't have the news here because there's way too much to actually go through, and at least in this video. I think the news was that over the weekend, what are they called? I want to say Squaresoft. That's not it. It's not MicroStrategy. It's Grayscale. I think Grayscale purchased another 10,000, 11,000 Bitcoin after one we were just talking about a day or two ago as well. So once again, less than 1,000 Bitcoin mined per day, all gone from two companies, and Grayscale just bought 10 times that as well. So when you talk about why the price of, sorry if the sun is in the lens again, it's morning. I can't help it. It's just nature. When you talk about why Bitcoin's rising so rapidly in price, it's because the institutions before had found a way to be able to buy up Bitcoin over the counter and kind of avoid cryptocurrency exchanges. What happens when we know that they're in the market and there's no more for them to really buy over the counter because all those things are also completely, I'm sure, dried up as well. So now they have to buy on cryptocurrency exchanges. Do they have the actual numbers here for PayPal? It says the rate people are buying cryptocurrency is alarming because before PayPal, people bought the digital coin via Square's Cash App. The Cash App is king. Wait, the Square Cash App is acquiring about 40% of the cryptocurrency for its owners. They don't have the actual number here. I think per day, PayPal is, I think they're selling like $20 to $25 million worth of Bitcoin, or rather people are buying from PayPal, $20 to $25 million worth of Bitcoin per day. PayPal bought 70% of all newly mined Bitcoin last month as demand rockets. So I expect still for other companies to start mimicking PayPal. I don't think it's going to be a PayPal only game. I assume they're going to have many other players in the space who are already in the space or have been thinking about getting into the space, who are going to also mimic this thing. Hey, you can come to our platform and also buy it as well. But they will also have to buy up Bitcoin. They probably are buying up Bitcoin at the moment to be able to even sell to other people. That's more Bitcoin that's being gone and lost off the actual market. Don't forget, a lot of people who are buying, even if they are here for just to get to 100K, these people are buying and locking their coins up. A lot of people who are into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now, and I think nearly all of you should really understand this as well, you're in it for the long term. We've discussed this before. When we hit 50,000, when we hit 47,000, we will be over $1 trillion market cap. That makes Bitcoin bigger than nearly every other company except for like 2 or 3 on the planet, and nearly every other country except for like 2 or 3 on the planet. When Bitcoin hits $250,000, Bitcoin is big enough to overtake the US dollar. And at that point, when we get to $250,000 per Bitcoin, especially if we get there by next year, according to Citibank, if not the next 4 years, which has been like the longest prediction. Oh my gosh, 4 years to make $250,000. We will be at the point where it will be almost inconceivable that Bitcoin would not go to $1 million. I think when we hit $250,000, if anyone says that Bitcoin is not going to $1 million, it's going to be like Peter Schiff or some other people who just simply it's going to go there. Anyway, the point is, PayPal alone, here we go. PayPal and Square are buying every new mined Bitcoin and more. Just 2 companies. And we know that there are at least, don't forget about Fidelity, the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ. What was the Rockefeller family trust is also buying up tons of Bitcoin. We can assume that JP Morgan Chase is also buying it because they've been saying some pretty nice things. We can assume that Citibank is also buying it. We had about 6 hedge fund managers over the last 2 or 3 weeks who were also talking about how amazing Bitcoin was. I'm going to assume that they're probably also buying up and didn't take the time out of their day to simply sit on the stage and go, yeah, it's good. I have 5 of them. Yeah. It's clear that they're all buying up a lot more. Anyway, this is absolutely incredible because this is only going to cause more of a crunch and a squeeze in the actual supply. I still think there are now less than 1 million Bitcoin actually up for grabs. And the craziest part is, I had discussions with someone before, and people were screaming at me in the comment section before about, if there's 1 million, that's still a lot going around. Now imagine if it's not. Imagine if we know that there are 10 companies on the planet who are buying so much that it will maybe take them 150 days to absorb all the last coins that are actually out there circulating around. We are talking about a currency, a coin that is going to take over the US dollar and potentially, maybe, no one knows for sure, become the new world currency. Of course, rich people are going to try and buy as much of this as possible. If you're talking about the crazy Bitcoin prices, you can even find that there was some old article. This was This was when Roger Ver was still into Bitcoin, the number one coin. He predicted years, this was 2011, 2012, that Bitcoin would hit $10 million a coin. And I remember looking at the screen and I was like, this guy's out of his mind. And now it all makes sense. This is a widespread prediction from some of the largest players. Even if you talk about, oh gosh, what's this guy's name? Palpataya and all this other stuff, they all have said the $1 million Bitcoin price. And it seems completely conceivable because when you have Bitcoin on the market and it's kind of just floating around out there, that's one thing. When there's none left and people are trying to gather as much Satoshis as humanly possible, don't forget, while rich people are also buying up, you're also buying, and so are your friends and so are your family members. You know the really crazy part? We are a couple of days away from Thanksgiving. Do you remember what happened Thanksgiving 2017? Anybody? Any show of hands? The price exploded the day after. You want to know why? Because apparently what happened was everyone had been making a good chunk of change over the course of 2017. They made a couple $1,000 here, some money there from the cryptocurrency market. They told their family at Thanksgiving dinner. The very next day, prices skyrocketed because everyone at that dinner table was like, I would also like to make $15,000 from doing absolutely nothing. So it's going to be a very interesting week. Even if nothing else happens, even if we get a consistency of this news over and over, that we know that PayPal and Square, even if they're the only two companies on the planet who are buying, and you'd better believe the amount of families, the amount of offices, institutions, banks in Dubai and Germany and Switzerland and France, in Japan and Korea and everywhere who are buying up Bitcoin. Even if you have 1,000 institutions who are buying up 1 Bitcoin a day each, as 1,000, you know what 1,000 times 1,000 is? It's 1 million. There's less than 1 million circulating on the market. Now, imagine, hear me out here. Imagine if they're not just buying 1 Bitcoin. What if they're always buying like 500? Because that's what every single company we've been hearing about has been doing nonstop. Grayscale's not going to stop. Okay, I'm going to stop. Anyway, the point is, it says PayPal now handles $20 million a day in Bitcoin trading volumes. Incredible. I love it. Every single part of it. Once again, if you are an early adopter, have been here for a while, pat yourself on the back. If you've just arrived, get ready because you are going to experience something like you've never experienced something in your entire life. It's going to get real really fast. We're going to hit 6 figures. And tons of your friends and family members are not going to understand why you made so much money, and it's going to annoy them. That's the PayPal news, and I guess the Square news and the Bitcoin drying up news. My goodness, let's move on. Next up, Bitcoin's durable technology could make it take gold's place in the digitizing world, believes the CIO of the world's largest asset manager. I guess this goes into I'm rich by Bitcoin news, which we've had the last 4 weeks every single day. This was said by the CIO of the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock. The chief investment officer of the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, believes that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are here to stay. Duh. Although he hasn't invested in Bitcoin, I don't know about that. Rick Reeder, am I saying that right? Rick Reeder asserted that Bitcoin could take the place of gold to a large extent. Founded in 1988, BlackRock, American global investment company. Wow. $7 trillion in assets under management. If you can see my arm floating right here, it's because I'm trying to block out the sun from the actual article so that I can read it. That's why I was like, is his name Reader or because I couldn't really see the letters. Its CIO, the person making the investment decision, recently appeared on CNBC's Squawk Box and discussed Bitcoin. Perhaps due to the recent price increase, I'm pretty sure he was there for that. The primary cryptocurrency has become a hot topic, yada, yada, digitizing world. He said Bitcoin is here to stay. He attributed it mostly to the durability of the technology behind it and that the younger generations are more receptive towards the innovation within the financial world. He said, I think that digital currencies and their receptivity, particularly millennials' receptivity of technology and cryptocurrencies is real. Digital payment systems are real. As if they weren't real before. For those of you who didn't get that little smidge of what he was talking about, a lot of analysts have been analyzing and have found out that young people do not have much interest in buying up gold or buying up pieces of gold or hordes of gold or bricks of gold. They prefer to do everything digital because everything we do right now is digital. You are looking at me through a digital device. I am talking to you through everything digital. Information spreads digitally. And we are used to tapping our cards or swiping our cards and not actually handing over money or anything physical at this point. So a lot of banks did studies over the last 2 years that we had heard about on this channel that young people prefer to use digital things. And they have done surveys where they prefer to invest in Bitcoin rather than gold. So the idea is, as the wealth transfer happens from the baby boomers into the younger generation, that these youngins are going to transfer any money that they get into digital currencies as a form of an asset class. And here we are. So yeah, the CIO of BlackRock, $7 trillion of assets under management, has said that Bitcoin is here to stay and is going to replace gold. Once again, every single day, rich people keep coming out. And so do you know what it means for Bitcoin to replace gold? We've used gold as a store value, as an asset, as something valuable for millennia. It's been quite a while. And the idea that Bitcoin has been around for 12 years and is going to completely just knock it on its behind is, I'm going to use the F word. It's fascinating. It's definitely fascinating where this is all going to go. A lot of people have predicted that within the next 5 years, we will see the draining of gold's value going to be pushed into the digital cryptocurrency asset securitized, tokenized security space, which I think is definitely going to happen. If by the end of next year, there's no Bitcoin to go around and we hit $300,000, and let's say gold actually goes up to $2,300 an ounce, people are going to realize I made $4,000, not even, I made $400 from my gold when I could have made $285,000 from Bitcoin. And that's going to cause a huge amount of, it won't even be FOMO at that point. It's going to be like a SADMO? Sad of missing out? I'm sad I missed out. I'm so. All right, let's move on. I think that was all that news. Is this the same exact one? Nope. Kind of similar-ish. It says with the world's largest digital currency registering year-to-date returns of 145% at the time of writing, there's renewed cause for optimism in the market. In fact, many like Nick Carter have gone out of their way to stress the contrary to the bull run back in 2017, saying that the present rally is much more sustainable. Yeah, because there's nothing but like wealthy people in the space who are buying up everything. Like it's a huge supply shock happening right now. Dan Moorhead, CEO and co-founder of crypto investment firm Pantera Capital, is one of those to share this optimism, with the exec recently appearing on a podcast to stress that Bitcoin's performance of late was eclipsing anything and everything. 145% this year alone. Nonsense. Additionally, Moorhead also expressed his excitement at the prospect of Bitcoin emerging as an investment right now. I don't have to read the rest of it. You know exactly where the article's going. Like there's no question in your mind of exactly what he's going to say. It even says it up here. Bitcoin has reached its escape velocity, claims Pantera Capital executive. This week is meant to be a very big one. Like I said, we are a couple of bucks away from 19,000. And I think if we have any good news, any type of surge in anything, we are, I don't know if we can hit 20,000 today, but listen, I'll tell you about 8 weeks ago, I also didn't think that we would have jumped up by $8,000. So anything's possible at this point. Please pay attention to where your money is news. Complex, well-studied, and not easy. That's how an expert described the $20 million hack to a DeFi protocol called Pickle Finance. That is PICKLE Finance. Another day, another DeFi hack. Pickle Finance just announced, it sounds stupid saying that. Pickle Finance just announced the funds deposited in one of its smart contracts were stolen by a hacker hours ago. The team is still investigating how exactly the hacker stole approximately $20 million in funds. The wallet is still dormant and has not stated the money laundering phase that tends to follow every hack. So, hope none of you had your money in Pickle Coin. I'm not even slightly joking. I told all of you at the beginning of this year that this was going to happen. Not so much the hacks, but these coins are garbage. You should not have your money inside of any of these things. There's always one person, and I'm sure there's one person out there who had their money in this protocol or something like it. Please make sure if you are in the cryptocurrency space for the short, medium term, anything longer than a year to 4 years, that you are investing in things that are actually being purchased and used by companies, institutions, banks, family offices, because I want your money to be safe, because this is quite ridiculous. Prominent DeFi coin Pickle Finance plunges 50% in wake of attack. All right, so that's all the Pickle coin news. And what's even crazier is that sometimes, I didn't check because there's usually other coins that have gone through the exact same hack or whatever during the course of the weekend. But if they get hacked for 4 million and Pickle gets hacked for 20 million, Pickle makes the news and the other coins don't. So make sure your portfolio's in good shape. What does this one say? Pantera is also in the news again. Cryptocurrency firm Pantera Capital has raised another $5 million for its Bitcoin fund, bringing the total to $134 million, according to a Form D filing with the US SEC. Not surprised. Nothing surprising here. Of course, they're trying to raise more money because everyone's doing the exact same thing right now. And you know what we haven't heard from? We haven't heard from mimics of Grayscale. Like, Grayscale is accumulating tons and tons of Bitcoin through their whatever they're doing. But we haven't heard of anyone like trying to mimic them. And I'm pretty sure there's definitely someone trying behind the scenes who's trying to gather also 10,000 Bitcoin per day. And then, please pay attention, we are desperate news. Ethereum Classic Labs has launched Wrapped Ethereum Classic. The new product allows Ethereum customers access to decentralized finance protocols via the Ethereum blockchain. The power of Wrapped Ethereum Classic is that it can be extended to ERC20 compatible wallets, which means that clients can partake in the expanding Ethereum DeFi ecosystem. What Wrapped Ethereum Classic brings to Ethereum Classic is that it can be an operator. Ethereum Classic Labs moves comes Ethereum Classic. Do you know what I'm going to say? Or should I say it? Do I have to say it? I don't have to say it. Do I have to say it? I feel like there's one person sitting there like waiting, like, is he going to say it? There are a lot of coins who are not being used. I told you they were not going to be used. And a way for them to try and be used is to create a new version of themselves by locking themselves inside of Ethereum to try and not only make their supply shorter, but to also say, hey, you can use us on Ethereum. So, awkward. Let's move on from this, because this is not going to be the last wrapped coin. They're all going to try and do the exact same thing because no one's using them. No one's buying them. No one's going to buy them. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Scott Awkward really fast, Professor Wally from Gunbite University, Snacky Chan, Tolik, Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moher Moroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold E3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mon, Jalavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hishess Every Day and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monster Staff, Arfmedic17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crail and Michelle, URL and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel who clicked the little join button below. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links, and thank you to everyone who is a supporter of the channel in their own way. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently at 18,714 US dollars. It is up by 2.48%. Ethereum is $8.93 away, even less now, from hitting 600 US dollars. It is up by 9.21%. Litecoin's up by 5% if you round up. XRP is down by 0.13%. But I mean, listen, the coin was at 20 cents. It's fine if it has like a breather day or trend sideways because, you know, it still went up by a lot. Litecoin has passed by Bcash. I assume Polkadot is going to try and do the same. Cardano has been surging like crazy the last couple of days. It is up by 15% right now. It is currently at 15 cents. I think I went over the prices in the last video that we were discussing as to where I believe it's going to go. Tezos is up by 11%. OKB is up by 10%. What else is anything crazy? IOTA is also up by 17%. Not exactly sure why. I assume it's just something behind the scenes that maybe we just don't know about. VeChain Thor is up by almost 16%. Waves is up by 28%. Also no news on that. Yeah, everything is relatively in the green. Bitcoin Cash ABC, stupid name, is still falling, and I expect it to fall much further because, yeah, markets in green. I hope you have a good morning, and I hope that during the rest of the day, the prices are, staying in the green. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day. a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.